Hello, welcome. We're going to build a robot. I was going to do the robot from Forbidden Planet, but now I'm going to do Wally. Wally! Because I think Wally just looks a bit more interesting, and the references I looked at were quite cool. They're going to require some different styles of ting to get it working, but and I'm just going to record. It's my webcam mic and my webcam because my mic and stuff is never set up permanently and it takes too much, so excuse the quality of the audio. Okay, so let's start building Wally. Don't delete your default cube. He's going to be quite useful. What we want to do first is get your references, and if you press Shift A, I need to get my keyboard thing on. Press that. If you press Shift A, you get image as planes if you've got it in your preferences. So under Edit, Preferences, Add-ons, type Image as Planes, and then you will have it here. Add Image as Planes. Right click, and you can either add it to your favourites or not. It's on my favourites, and that's what I'm going to be using after I do it this way. So Shift A, Image as Planes. Okay, and I've already downloaded all my references. You can find them on Google. Just type Wally. Okay, so we're going to start with one of the fronts. Let's have a look. If you bring it in, you're probably going to have to rotate it on the Z by 90. And then I'm going to bring it up. And to see the picture in edit mode, the best settings I found is up here, matcap texture. Okay, let's make that a bit bigger. And let me just, so I'm pressing my quick menu, which is Q, and adding more images planes. Why don't you just stay there? I'm just going to get as many as I can. I'm going to rotate them afterwards. So I'm just going to bring them all in. I've forgotten already which ones I've got. Just put them all over here. Don't worry about rotating them just yet. That one. And lastly, let's bring in... no, we don't need that one. That's probably what I'm going to... We'll pose it at the end. So we'll have it anyway. Okay, and I'm just going to select all of these and rotate that. If you press full stop or period, you get this menu, and it's the rotate menu. So we want to rotate them on the individual origins so that they rotate individually. And then let's just spread them out a bit. Couple of PNGs here, very useful. Okay, and I think this one looks about the most front on, so we might as well start with this. Let me get these. Excuse if there is any noise in the background. If it gets bad, I'll cut and wait till it stops. But anyway, right. So let's kind of get this about the right size. That'll do. Okay. If you want, press comma, not comma, Z, and then toggle X-ray, just so if you can, we'll be doing this a lot anyway. There's lots of working in X-ray mode. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, let me just duplicate that and we'll quickly talk. So clearly there's a default cube, and I'm just looking for the main shapes, of which there are few, which is fortunate. So yeah, that's obviously a default cube. I think we'll make these using curves, and then this will have to be something that's arrayed along a curve. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet, but whatever. And yeah, we can have a load of fun texture in this. I don't know whether we're going to texture paint some of it or just see what we can do procedurally. Okay, so yeah, that's for now. Let's get cracking. So, and we're going to want to do all this symmetrically. Anything I build, it's just do it symmetrically. There's no point me making one eye here and then one eye here. We might as well just make one eye and symmetrize it. All right. So let's look at making this. I'm sure you can, with some kind of add-on that's in Blender, just add a single vertex or vertice. But this is the way I do it. I add a plane, I tab into edit mode, and then select no, sorry, mesh, merge at center. That's also in my quick menu. And then if you press G and nothing moves, just make sure you've got vertex selected, press A, and there she goes. Okay, so we want to trace around this. It might be better to do it with an even number of vertices, but I never did that. I'm going to try it this time. I'm going to count them as I go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we want to we'll do one more. Select those two, and then again mesh merge at center. It's in my quick menu right there. Was that 8 or 6? Whatever. And what I like to do is something, I don't know if it's a term, but it's what I do, like subdivision modeling. So I get my curves by subdivisions, not by extra geometry. So what I would normally do with something like this is, obviously there's not enough vertices to round it off, so we just add a subdiv, and then we can, that's rough, but we can now we should be able to just match it. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that there, and I'm going to select this one, and then we're going to subdivide. So it gives us another vertex here, and we are just looking for that slightly, you see that outline? I mean, that's perfect right there. The closer two vertices are together, the less curve. You see, if I move this back now, this curve goes with it, and it becomes even more 2-3 step curve. So we don't want that. We just want it to do that. And I'm also going to move this one, and again you can see this very faint black line. I'm actually going to subdivide that again because I want that to be straight. I don't want it all over the place like that. Right, and we're just moving that. In fact, I'm going to up this to 2 to get it even smoother. And I think I'm going to need another vertex there, so select both of them. No, right click, subdivide, and again we're just this very thin, could be more visible black line is what we're lining up. All right, and as you see, you don't need many vertices to get a very nice smooth curve, and we will be doing this a lot working with the subdiv. All right, okay, so there we have a tidy curve. I'm going to apply that by hovering over that, Control A, and now we have our curve. So let's skin it, or should we solidify? Solidify is not going to work. Skin. Okay, and of course it looks ridiculous. Take a bit of a batter and fat eye. So with the skin, you can't. So I'm tabbing in to edit mode. Let me go back to toggle X-ray, so you can see the vertices there. And because we applied the subdivision surface, we've got more vertices. And with this, when you press A, you can't press Control S. I mean S like you would normally do. It scales the whole thing. You want to press Control A if you weren't already aware. And we're just gonna drag this to be roughly about that. Yeah. All right. Let's get X-ray mode off. And to get I haven't done anything with this. I've barely looked at this, so as I say, I'm working this out as I go. What are his eyes doing? So it looks like it's not that thick. Just this bit we need, so we just need to extrude a little. So if we select this, we're going to need to apply the skin, because we need to edit this back face. Excuse me. So hover over skin, Control A, and then we have a tidy mesh. And if we just double click the back loop, and we're going to bring it back on the Y, so extrude it on the Y. About that much, I suppose. Let's have it, come back. Let's have a look. Is there a better version? Yeah. And then who knows what's going on here. We're probably going to have to make some of this up. That's fine. Okay, no, that's all right. So clearly, actually, we can just symmetrize it like that. But notice what I've got is this eye is right next to the center. So if I symmetrize that, it's going to be touching. So I'm just going to ignore the reference and just push that over to here. And the mirror modifier in Blender sometimes can be problematic because it's clearly not mirrored from the center. So what I tend to do is look for something that is centered. And if I haven't got something that's centered, just make something that starts at the 0 point. And if your 3D cursor is here and you're adding, I don't know, a plane, it's going to add up here, which is not centered. So if that happens, just press Shift C and it will put your thing back in the middle. So if I didn't have this cube here, I'd just make a new cube, leave it there, and then I would use this new cube as my mirror object. So click that, and now it's nice and centered. Maybe too far across, but obviously if I bring, if I bring this over a bit, it's going to meet in the middle a little more. Yes. Okay. I'm going to bring that image back. So, and there's a slight thing. We need to fill this area in the middle. Now, let's just see if this looks awful, which I'm expecting it to. So I'm just Control R just to make a loop cut, and then I'm just going to press F. Do I care? It's an N-gon. Maybe not now. I don't. I mean, I might need to care, and that's too far anyway. I'm just going to Control Z that, Control Z that, and I'm just going to recreate that. Oh, hang on, there's one here. I'll just use that. Need edge loop. So I'm selecting that loop and just pressing F. Just for now. In fact, if I add a subdiv to this, it may all go hideously wrong with that massive N-gun, but let's try it. So we want to add a subdiv to that. Yep. Didn't enjoy. Oh no, it's all right. That's fine. We could have added a bevel, but the scale's all probably off by now. And what's... Yes, okay, so that's... For now, we might as well just put a couple of eyes in there. So let's just add a cylinder. We're going to need to move it up for a start and then rotate it on the X by 90. Drag it down. And let's just go back into X-ray mode so I can see. And I'm just going to move this to match that position again, just so we can get this the right size and in right place. Okay, that's about right. Okay, so is it like a multi? Where's he gone? Let me have a look at that. You know what? I'm going to bring the references over here. 3D viewport 1, and we're going to have to do the same here. So, matcap, texture. In we go. So now we've always got this to look at. They're clearly camera lenses, so we'll have to make something like a glass lens over it. But just for now, all we want is the basic shapes. So who cares? That'll do for now. GY. Let's make that way less large by scaling on the y-axis with SY, and then we can mirror that. And again, because the mirror goes by, I believe, the origin. So if we put a mirror in, it's not going to do what we need it to do. In fact, it doesn't do anything because it's mirroring on the X and the origin is here, so it's got nowhere to go. So hence, again, we mirror object, bush, and now we've got two eyes. And if we went over to random, it's clearer to see. Okay, so, but let's go back to my texture. So, what should we do next? I'm sure. Oh yeah, I want this one. I need you a minute. Let's look. Let's look. The arms. I'm assuming they go up and down this slidey hole. It's the technical term. Okay, so we're gonna make. What I'm looking at here is that it's clearly a cylinder, but they look like separate pieces. I think we can make separate pieces. Okay, let's just let's bring in a cylinder. Again, we're just making the basic shapes, getting all the basic shapes in place. How big does it look? Probably that, I guess. Might be a bit fat, we'll find out. I'm going to resize that on the z-axis a little. And right, Nick, it's over here for a reason. Okay. So 1, 2. So we just want to extrude. So what we'll do is close this, tab into edit mode, delete that top face, and then select this edge loop, and then press ES, Shift Z, because with Shift Z is telling it not to scale on the Z. Otherwise, it might start to go in or up. So if we're pressing scale Shift Z, I'm saying scale everything but Z. Okay, and then we get this thing, and that looks about fat enough. And then we're just going to extrude it on the Z, about that much. And then, yep, same again, ES. I mean, you probably don't need to press Shift Z here. No, you don't. That's fine. That's actually not as fat. Okay, and then the last one. And then we'll have, I don't really know how that's attaching. Oh, it's kind of hinged with this. All right, so let's, you know what, we're just going to scale that a bit more and then scale, bring that up. Okay. And also what I do regularly is apply my scale. And where is that? Select, view, object. Set origin. No. Oh, Control A. Yeah, Control A, scale. That's in my thingy menu, my quick menu, but that means that we can bevel the edges. And a little tipsy here. First off, I'm just going to make that a bit more. Little tip here. This now looks nice. It's got a nice beveled edge, but it's still janky. So you might think, well, why have we used a bevel and not just use a subdivision surface to round off this? And I'll surely why. If we put a subdiv on this now, it does that. And the only way to fix that is to add more loops. So I've got to add one here, and you can see, bring that down. I've got to add one here to push that up. I've got to add one here to bring that down. So none of that's necessary. We can solve it quicker by adding another bevel back. Not that much, just enough. And then this will, when we add a subdivision on top of this, it's already beveled it and it's created these faux edge loops here. So the subdiv won't, you'll do a bit, obviously, you'll have to do a little bit, but it's kept a much harder edge, so we don't need as many extra loops. In fact, I don't need one at the top, just one there. Just bring those a little closer. See, bosh, there we go. Okay, so that's one on. Might as well mirror it. So I'm going to collapse these. Middle, and same thing again. We use his body as the mirror object. And oh, what's going on here? That's when he's happy. Oh, we've got a bit of a clearer picture here. Oh, he's got. Okay, that's good. Yeah, this looks like a separate piece, actually. I'm clueless yet how to do that. Oh, but there are these things. That might look cool. Let's do that. Just add a bit of detail. This is can be very simple to do actually. We are going to need to subdivide our cube maybe twice. Yeah. And then if we select these vertices, what bugs me is the skin modifier. If I select two and then these two and these two and these two, separate them and then try and skin them, it will only skin one of them. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or if there's a workaround, but it don't work. It don't work. So we could just take a few, join them, and then mirror them. So I'm going to select these two. I'm going to press Shift D to duplicate, not move them. Press Enter, and then P, selection, and now we have this edge, and we can just skin that. And then bring it down. And let's have a look. So what we're likely going to have to do is just, I don't know why it does this. I'm not sure if there's some kind of reason that the skin adds this bevel when I don't want it. I want it to be but that's close enough. Let me just have a peek again. Hang on, why are they not? Oh, they're not quite what I thought. They go all the way round. Ah, so scrap that. Right, we need to delete that. Bye. And this time we're going to take this one. Why? It comes down there, but it doesn't come down here. Now, I wonder if having references from various places. It does, right? We're doing this one. We are going down. So okay. So I'm taking that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Let's just do that. That one, no. That one and that one. All right. And then Shift D, Enter, P, selection. Tab out, select it, and add yourself a skin. Same again. So I'm tabbing to edit, selecting all the vertices, Control A, and it's going to take some fiddling. There's no getting around it. It's going to take some fiddling, but that's cool. So now we need to apply that, and now we need to find a way to fix this. Shocker! It's made a bleeding triangle. It's not done. I don't think it's done that before. Has it made one over the back here and all? It has. Okay. I don't want to edit both of these, so we are going to cut this into X-ray mode, vertices, and I'm assuming this is the middle, yes. So I'm just going to mirror this. So I'm going to delete that vertices, and another trick for the mirror, because now I haven't really got anything to mirror the other side, is if you tab into this, whatever is the middle point, which is here, we've cut this here. If you press Shift S and cursor to selected, then we should be able to add, hang on, yeah, mirror, Y. There we go. Well, it's done it anyway. I don't think there was any need to do that. The cursor selected, the reason I did that is because I could have added an object and used that new object as the mirror point, and it would have mirrored like this, but unexpectedly it's actually turned out all right. So that's good. And then we might as well add another mirror to do that. And now let's look at this awful geometry. I don't think there's any way around this. We're going to have to manually fix this. So I'm going to delete all of these, and I'm going to go into X-ray mode because I want to select all of these. Oh Jesus, why? It's worse than I thought. Oh God, is this more trouble than it's bleeding worth? Okay, maybe, I think we might be able, let's just see what happens if we take these two. It might be different on your computer, I don't know, but this is what I got to do. I'm going to merge them at center. See where that's, okay, so clearly it's somewhat deformed the shape, but I kind of want it there. Right, now what else has that done? I'm going to, if you press the, well, you'll see what key it is, the / key. It will solo what you're working on so you can fix things properly. There might have been a much... Told you I'd record my mistakes. Goodbye. To go back in, press that / We're not going to do that. We are not going to do it like that. That is too much hassle. All I'm going to do, I've already got my 3D cursor, it doesn't matter. I'm going to add a cube and we're going to make it from a cube rather than mucking around like that. Okay. So that, we'll bring that centrally, and then because we're in X-ray mode, I'm going to select, I know I've got all 4 vertices here, and I'm going to extrude it on the Y. Just enough poking out to control our, bring in a loop there, and then maybe there. And I'm going to select these 4, EX, so extrude them on the X-axis to about there, and just G, Y, I'm just moving these ones back to about there, and then adding another edge loop, selecting these vertices, and then again extruding on the X. That's too far, that's too far. That'll do like, and then we just need to take these 4, and these 4 actually. Get out of my way, you fool. There they are. Grab them, and then E, Z. Z. Okay, so that is a way quicker way of doing that. And I'm going to apply my scale. You want to press Control A. It is a bit fat, isn't it, that? It's no problem, we can sort that out. Let's add a bevel. It's always too much, so I always go to 0 and then shift right click that way. Now, if we take it lower, and it's too fat, so we just need to take all these and move them back to there. And we want to take all these boys. Do we? Yeah. Grab all these. And then just bring them back a bit. Move them on the Y. And then just have a peek again. Oh, it's got a kind of thing there. Do I care? No. I don't care. We've got to make it individually. Okay, so now we can do the mirroring malarkey. And it should be... No, right, okay. I'm going to... I want to set my origin to geometry. Origin to geometry. It's in my quick menu, so I should be doing that. And again, the mirror, we want to use the body as the mirror. Is it on all 4 corners? Yep. And then we put, so we'll just collapse these, whack in another mirror, and we're going to mirror on the Z using this. Okay, and again, these are just the basic shapes. These are all just basic shapes, nothing too complicated yet. So his head, neck. How long have I been running for? Christ, half an hour. Half an hour. I think that's probably all right for a bit. Okay, we're gonna pause it there. I think that's a good start. Okay, so I'll do another one in a bit. We'll come back and we'll continue until we get to the end. And I already look forward to adding the detail and the texture and That's always fun. Okay, until next time, I've been Nick, you've been you. In a bit.